Commitment to success is very difficult to get people to buy into because you're never 100% sure you'll reach that ultimate goal. And so as a coach, as a mentor, I've learned from the people that coached me and mentored me that you've got to sell a dream, and you've got to believe it, and you got to find ways to make others believe it. And I'm sitting next to two guys that haven't always enjoyed their role. They're always agreed with decisions that I've made about minutes and style of play and shots and all those things. And you got to constantly communicate with these guys and share their vision and share their dreams. And I've tried to do that to the best of my ability, and I know I can do it better. But I'm just grateful to be sitting here in front of you as a back-to-back champion with this group that I have. You know, Donaven Dorsey, a week ago I pulled him out of the starting lineup, and I just felt that he plays better when he can see the flow of the game a little bit and come in. And it also evened out our versatility with a post and a guard coming in. Instead of two guards coming in, it was hard to balance the minutes, and he made the most of that and came out the next game and played incredible defense. And what do you know? Big shot Bob, championship night. Ahmaad Rorie, I think he's very capable of averaging 25, 30 points a game like a lot of other people have in this conference. And I've had to convince him that we all won't reach our goals if that happens, because you can't win championships with one guy taking 30 shots. It just doesn't happen. And he bought in and believed in our dream. And to not get Player of the Year on a team that he led to back-to-back regular season championships is kind of tough to swallow. We had a conversation in the airport on the way here, and the conversation was a little bit about, we'll take this one, that this one means more. And he went out and made it happen. So as head coach of the University of Montana Grizzlies, I'm just proud to be surrounded by such special gentlemen that I have on my team, and the incredible staff that I have, and how much they've all committed to what my dream has been for this group.
Back in January, you told us, hey, all we want to do is win. Everything else will take care of itself. So you're sitting here right now. What's this feeling?
Yeah, it feels different. It actually brought tears to my eyes because I know just all the work that myself and my teammates have put in, you know. Like Donaven, I've known Donaven since we were 12 years old, playing the same AAU team. We lived probably 30 minutes away from each other, and I just hugged him, you know, just had tears in my eyes just because, like Travis said, he might not have liked his role coming off the bench, you know, but he made the most out of it, and he's played through injuries and just helped us win. So just kind of when you sit back and soak it all in, I think it's real special, you know, to know Timmy Falls coming off the bench, you know, and now he's starting and he's giving us a lot of energy, and he barely played down the stretch. He was real happy for everybody, you know, Kendall, Saeed, Mike, you know. I just felt like when I just sat back and was able to soak it all in, it just felt real good.
Donaven in this tournament alone, first game in like 30 minutes, went down, totally banged up, come back in this game, in this championship, hit all four of them from deep, and really be a big momentum for, you know, being down and coming back and all that. How satisfying is it to you? What's your emotion at being able to contribute the way you did in a championship game?
I just feel like, you know, it's an unbelievable feeling, you know, to just help my team in any way I can possible, whether that's on the bench, whether that's in the game making shots or getting rebounds or playing defense, you know. It's just an unbelievable feeling, you know. And, you know, my teammates put me in, you know, the best spots to be successful on the court, and, you know, I mean, that's all of them, you know. I just do my part, but, you know, my teammates do everything to, you know, to get me open and to give me the shots that I need to get. So, you know, all glory to them and the coaching staff for drawing off plays, and, you know, all glory to God.
Coach, they get you down 12 early. What were the keys to turning that around?
We've been here before. We play in spurts, and if we can get multiple spurts, we've put teams away. But it became a defensive grind. We weren't getting stops early, and our shot selection wasn't great. I think we had multiple guys that felt like they had mismatches, and so we were in attack mode, but we weren't attacking together. And so it took me 2 or 3 timeouts to settle the group down and kind of refocus on how we need to attack together and let the ball move and trust each other. But we won't win this game without defense. And once we kind of got back into single digits and got momentum going, Donovan's threes off the bench early, the confidence was back, the mojo was back, and then at halftime, you know, we were struggling offensively. They were doing a good job defensively, and so what I told these guys is if we're going to win this game, we're probably going to have to hold them to 30-something% and keep them below 40. That way, we don't have to be lights out to win. Our defense can win this game for us, and we were lights out, but we did hold them to 39%, and so they gave us enough room to pull away.
Ahmaad, you guys had great crowd support down here all week. Looked like in the post-game celebration, you're trying to include some of them in the celebration. You know, how does celebrating with the fans this year compare to celebrating last year in Reno?
Yeah, well, I think this is definitely a better location for the tournament. A lot of people could drive down, you know, it's only like a 7-hour drive, but our friends travel well, you know, and back in Missoula, they definitely support us. So I think with it only being a drive away, a lot of people wanted to come, you know, all the players, our family wanted to come out here and just support. And I mean, they all want the dream as much as us, you know, they want us to go back to the tournament. So we definitely had the most fans. So I think with that being said, their support was real special. So they're a part of it just as much as us.
Coach, when you have such high expectations, sometimes it's kind of hard to maybe match those or meet those. So to do that, what does that feel like right now?
Feels great. I think the expectations for the group were a little unrealistic or unfair. They were realistic. We could have run the table. I mean, we have the talent to do that, but it's difficult to do. There's good coaches in the league. There's talent in this league. So I don't know if those expectations were fair. And to have adversity hit, you start to feel like, man, maybe it's not there for us, and we just had to fight and keep fighting and fighting. And so, you know, sometimes I flip the switch a little bit. And, you know, you sure you want this? Do you believe? And they don't like that. And a little reverse psychology never hurt anybody.
Coach, can you talk about the versatility? You guys have gone through a ton of changes, like injuries this year, to get to this point, and now you've won. You're sitting here. Can you talk about just the versatility and adaptability of the team that you have this year?
If I could tell you every single thing we've been through, you wouldn't believe me. To see this team where we're at right now. And once again, it's about the people. And when I recruit, I say no to a lot of talent. There's a lot of kids that are very, very talented that we don't take because they don't fit our culture, our chemistry, what we're about, our buy-in. And this group they just stuck together. And you know, most of the time when we meet, it's, hey, what do you have? And they'll talk. And I think their ability to speak to each other, communicate with each other, and share what needs to change and what's expected of each other has been incredible. And so that's the first piece. And then the second piece is that every guy on our team can play more than one position, most of them 2 or 3 positions. And that's where the versatility is incredible. And I've always tried to recruit guys that can play more than one position, even my point guard. And I think that creates depth when guys are out. And we've been able to overcome a lot of injuries, a lot of absences. And with that, we're here. And so I'm proud of this group. I'm more proud of this group than anybody I've ever been proud of in terms of the sport.
Ahmaad, you were down 11 to Eastern last year in the championship game. So what was it like at halftime, knowing that you've been there, done that before?
Honestly, it was a lot of encouragement. I'll credit Bobby for that. He was talking a lot, you know. I kind of had my head down, not gonna lie, just because I feel like myself and my teammates wanted so bad, and, you know, we were kind of in a bad spot. But we were only down 5 this time. But Bobby was just encouraging us, you know, saying, you know, last year we were down. Let's just get right. Let's just fix the mistakes that we're making. So I feel like we have a group of guys that believe, you know, as long as we play harder than everybody in the conference, then we're the best team. That's what our coaches always say. It's not just that we're more talented. So we knew that when the next half started, that we just had to come out and just play harder than them. And I feel like we started to do that, got some momentum, and then we were feeding off the crowd. So it ended up working out for us.
Ahmaad, middle of the game, Tyler Kidd's bringing the ball up the court. You give him the double hand slap on the ground and yell, "Come at me." Why'd you do that?
I feel like my teammates feed off my energy, you know. I did it a couple nights ago, and then my teammates were like, "We need you to do more of that." So trying to get the bench involved, get my team involved, and I feel like I said it yesterday when I'm locked in on defense. I feel like I can guard anybody, and it definitely allows me to stay in front of my man and just try to be competitive, and then have everybody else feed off of that. Because if I could guard my man, then it makes everyone else's job a lot easier. But like Donaven, credit him today. He was helping me a lot on the ball screens. He had, I think, 2 block shots. So he was helping a lot, and then Bobby was helping, Saeed helping. So it wasn't just me, but I tried to just get everybody going with the energy.
Ahmaad, you are one of the very special group of seniors on this team that have been together with for a long time, and been with Travis for a long time. As you sit here, back-to-back champions, and obviously going to the tournament, but having accomplished a bunch of goals with this man right here, what can you say about him that you appreciate about him?
I mean, a lot. Honestly, he was the first person to offer me, coming in high school. He liked my mid-range game, so I feel like it was funny because my mid-range game was kind of overlooked back in Tacoma. A lot of people, they just like dunk slabs or just threes. So he saw stuff in me that I knew that I had, but he's just been real special for me, to come here and play for him. Like he said, he trusts me as a player, so I think that's the main thing. A lot of places, a lot of coaches, they like to coach players within a system. He has a system, but I think he's a player's coach. He knows everybody on the team. He knows what they do well, what they don't do well. So for him to allow me to just have the ball in my hands, play a lot of minutes, lead the team has been real special for me, especially transferring here from Oregon. So we're accomplishing stuff that we talked about, though, winning championships.
Just watching this team after transferring in, to end your career in the NCAA tournament, what's that mean to you?
I mean, that's really the goal, especially as a team. Before the season starts, we set goals. One of our biggest goals is to win championships, and that's just what we came out and did. All the grinding, all the hard summers and springs and falls and everything that comes with the grind. This is what it's all for, and it's the best feeling in the world to be able to go to the NCAA tournament and actually play in it this year. So it's definitely the best feeling ever.
All right, on that note, we're out of time.
One more.
You went to the tournament last year, got Michigan. We don't know who you're going to get this year. What is your expectation, though, for this group going into it?
If I'm a guessing man, we probably won't get a ton of respect because of some of the games we've lost. The committee's not going to dial in and look at the roster and look at the stat sheet and see who played and who didn't play. What led to the game or whatnot. They don't know what adversity we've been through, and they're not going to sit back and watch the last 3 games we played. So with that being said, we'll probably get a tough seed. I expect that's what happens. It's the Big Sky. But we're going to make the most of it, and we're going to fight. So I'm not here to guarantee wins, but I tell you what, our crowd will be proud of the performance that they get this week. But our goal is to go in and win. And every game we played, every game we scheduled, we knew that we could win, whether we would or not. And we're going to approach this the same way. This is no different than the November guarantee game to us, and it's time.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Different guys sometimes. I think they did a good job of blocking him out. They put a body on him a lot and tried to play a little physical with him. They kept somebody on the whole time, and he made a couple plays that he usually doesn't make. But again, he's going to gain some experience for a freshman to come into a game like this and have a double-double is pretty good. And so his future's bright, and we just got to make sure, and I got to do a better job of helping him as we move forward to understand these are the spots you can go get a play, and these are the spots you can get some shots.
Coach, is there one thing, 2 years getting to this point, is there anything like, you've only been here this long, do you feel like there's one thing that you're missing as far as being able to get over the hump?
No, I like both teams. I thought we went up against good teams. I like my team. I think I say it again. I have the best big in the league. I'm a first teamer here, Jesse, who should have been first team, and we have guys who it's just makeshift right now as we're trying to get through. And playing without a couple guys hurts, but no, you just got to next man up, and that's how we do it at Eastern. You always fight until the very end, and you know, I like the guys we went in there with. We were there, and we were there last year, and we'll be back.
Mason, you guys are 4th, 7 or 8 minutes left. Stayed in the game after that. What was the challenge with that? I mean, is that something you told coach to leave in the game after that? Or?
Oh, I think I got a 3rd one pretty early in the second half too. I told him to leave me in there, but the 4th one I just was sort of left it up to him. I trust his judgment. I mean, I just tried to play my normal game as best I could. I'm not trying to foul anyway when I'm defending. I'm just trying to go straight up. So if they were going to call a 5th, they were going to call a 5th. You know, I'm not trying to foul anyway. So really, not really any major adjustments.
Shantay, what sort of difference do you think Donaven Dorsey's shooting made in this game?
Said that, I saw again.
Donaven Dorsey's shooting, what sort of difference do you think that made in this game?
It was huge. You know, he hit one at the end of the clock that hurt. He hit 2 of them actually at the end of the clocks that hurt. You know, those are backbreakers, especially. You know, when we scouted it and said, hey, we got to make that guy drive. But you know, he made big plays. He did what he needed to do to help that team win. He had 2 big blocks too, so that's huge too. So they made the plays they needed to make down the stretch, but those 3s were hurt. I mean, 4 for 4 stinks.
Seemed like quite the chess match, you and Travis going back and forth. What can you just say about the preparation of both teams and the execution level, the adjustments you guys were able to make throughout the game?
Yeah, it was a game of adjustments. It was a game of different, you know, styles of play. They wanted to go, you know, a little bit faster and slow it down. We wanted to keep them under 70 points, which I thought if you keep them under 70 points, you win. Every game they've gone over 80, they've won. And I thought we did a good job defensively. Again, you know, a couple calls really changed the style we wanted to play, and we got to, you know, battle through that and have guys step up. And you know, you look at it, they did everything they needed to do to win. And Travis is a good coach. He won the league again this year. It was my vote for Coach of the Year. He did a good job with his ball club, especially, you know, losing to Cohen and figuring out how to win the league and how to get to the NCAA tournament. And you know, you got to give him a lot of credit. He did a great job.
We have time for a couple more questions.
Coach, are you going to take a seat back?
I got to talk to the administration after that and talk to the team. I love to play. I know the guys love playing basketball, so we have to make sure that I talk and then figure out what we're going to do. I got to talk to the fellas first. You know, that's up to them. But if we get one, I always want to play games. I always want to get out there and play against them, try to get as far as we possibly can in the season. I'd love to see Jesse and these guys still play and give these younger guys some opportunities. But that's something we got to talk about as a whole athletic department.
Mason, what did the refs think you did? What did you do to get there?
I actually don't know. I don't know. I saw Kim was tangled up and the player, I think it was say Bridget, was on top of him, so I was just sort of standing there just saying get off him, and then Rorie came over and sort of got in my face, and I backed away, and then I got taken off.
It's a weird way to get a double team in his 4th foul.
It seemed like Montana, they had like basically a home crowd here, and after that it seemed like they got pretty into it, kind of that energy, that kind of money. It changed much down the stretch after that.
I mean, I don't really know. I think that their crowd was present the whole game, but we've won big road games all year, so it really doesn't matter at all.